Hey everyone, what's up? It's me again. So first and foremost, my apologies for not making more videos or streaming more. As you may have known, I started this league with a pretty bad root canal infection, and yesterday I had my tooth extracted and my entire face hurts. So yeah, I haven't really been able to make as much content as I would like. I would like to ideally make a lot more content at league start for you guys, SSF, like early league stuff. But yeah, I'm still in the recovery process, but I wanted to make this video just to keep you guys updated on like how my league is going, as well as like share some updates on my build and also tell you guys about some strategies that worked for me in SSF. So yeah, without further ado, we can just go right into it. So I've been playing two builds. I've been playing this Bone Shatter Slayer, which is my league starter. And then I've also re-rolled to Righteous Fire Chieftain. And I wanted to do this re-roll because RF Chieftain I think is like really good right now. It's super easy to map with and is very tanky, and you can just farm with very little effort very fast, which I'll demonstrate as well after this. So what I've been doing is like just farming a bunch of expedition and essence with RF Chieftain, and then I've been just like doing single target with Bone Shatter Slayer, which I repurposed into a single target build. So I guess we can just start off by just like doing a build update. So this is my Bone Shatter Slayer character. This is my playtime. This is my league starter. I've taken this character to right now what I believe is like as far as I can take it. I have my 6th link. I have Tainted Pact with Golden Rule, so I have really strong recovery from that. Character's level 94, and my axe is like okay. It has tier 3 flat, tier 6 hybrid with crafted fizz with poison chance, and then T1 attack speed. So this is like an okay axe. I don't know if I can get better than this in SSF. And then yeah, character has 100% spell suppression, as much life as I could get. 0 chaos res for a Tainted Pact, and yeah, just as much damage as I could fit into this build. Current armor is at 33,000 and the taken as is just at 12%. Ideally I would be able to get a little bit more on my helmet, but it's been really hard to craft gear this league. I feel like crafting this league is like a lot harder than last league, mainly because of the removal of Veiled Chaos Orb, I think. Because there have been so many items that I just really wish I had a Veiled Chaos Orb, Lock Suffix, Reforge Prefix. Like, look at this ring. It has 8 life. That's so sad. But if I had Veiled Chaos Orb, I could make it have, 60 life. So, it is what it is. But yeah, this is basically as far as I think I can take my Bone Shatter Slayer character. And I'll just show you guys like a Guardian. What we'll do is we'll do like a Guardian map. We'll do a Phoenix on this character, and then a Phoenix on Righteous Fire Chieftain, so you can like see the difference. So we'll just like do this, just like Essence Scarab, just whatever Scarab, and then the Phoenix. Do a Maven Spectate. Okay, sure. Oh, we can actually just put Essence on here to demonstrate more what the build can do. So okay, whatever. Yeah, and then after this like build update section, I guess I can talk more about like my thoughts on the league, because as you guys know, they patched it. They quote unquote fixed it. So, hooray. I think the league still has its problems, especially in SSF, but it definitely is a lot better than before. And whatever the league lacks, like the juicing aspect, I think is still a lot of fun, like no matter what. Trial cores. Is this gonna give me recombinators? Is that a recombinator all flame? It's catalysts. Sag. But yeah, as you can see, this build is like okay. It's alright. I'm not gonna like try to, say that it's more than it is. But it's like okay. It's not phenomenal. I actually struggled a lot like getting to this point. I would say the build is like okay now, mostly because I have all my gear. I have 100% suppression, I have like 100% impale. I have 40% chance to poison for Tainted Pact, and I haven't checked the damage, but this probably is like 4 million, 5 million, like without, you know, anything like on it. I can show you like, well, okay, this one has block, so I can't do it. Okay, we'll have to dodge the block nose. Yeah, it's just in general, it's just a lot better to do content like this one also has block. So it has block everywhere, I just can't do it. Like I have struggled doing like some kind of juicing contents on this build. Like this build does kind of struggle on Expedition because there's a lot of mods that disable it. Also, Slayer, in specific, like the Slayer variant of Bone Shatter has some problems with like dealing with elemental attacks. So I ended up just dying a lot and it didn't really feel too good. Like once you get to this point, I think it's a little better. And like if you're gonna use this character mostly for like single target, I think it's fine. But it was hard to get to this point, and it definitely feels a lot easier to like soft core juice on a character like Righteous Fire Chieftain compared to this. However, I would still say that the league start potential of this build is pretty good. I can show you guys like what I've done on this character so far. So like, you know, well, after this, I'll show you. Here we have Phoenix. Dodge this. Go in. Okay. I wish I could. Okay, yeah. Yeah, melee totems kind of suck as always. Dodge that. Yeah, your damage on this build is maybe not the greatest just because you're melee, you have a lot of downtime, and you have to put the totem to like, if you can stand in one spot and attack, as you can see, it's like decent. Yeah, it's like okay. Here we'll grab this. Yeah. But the build is definitely like a lot weaker than like before. And the crafting nerfs really hurt for this character. So it is what it is. I know I said previously this build is A tier. I still think this build is like an A tier league starter. Like it goes really fast and your spike damage or your burst damage is like very high on this build. So I would say the league start potential of this character is still A tier. Definitely not S tier anymore because of all the nerfs, but I would say it's still a solid A tier starter. But like for like a mid-league juicer, I would say this is only like a B tier. Like there's other builds that can map a lot more easily with a lot less like deaths and stress than this build. If you're trying to do like, you know, Oppenheimer Expedition, like super, like, you know, more juicing basically, like more juicing. But if you're trying to just like go fast and all you want to do is like ouch and go T16s, I think this is like fine. But yeah, I think if you league start with this, you want to try to build into something else eventually. There's just other builds that are like better than this build now, I believe. But yeah, okay, so let's switch gears and I'll show you guys like the same thing on Righteous Fire Chieftain. This is a build that I've been playing, you know, for a little bit, slash played, whoops. Like this character is like, I mean, this is my second character, so it has like half the playtime as the league starter. Here we'll just pop this in, essence, Phoenix. So the same map, the same content. Just pop this in. Okay, whatever. Yeah. So like, I think this build, like in specific, is like a lot easier to play than Slayer or Bone Shatter Slayer. It is a little bit slower, as you can see, you know, because Righteous Fire. You know, you don't have like super fast leap slams and stuff, but it's like okay. The damage of this build is probably like half, maybe even less than Bone Shatter Slayer, but the survivability and the like just the quality of life of playing it is a lot better. And the juicing aspect of this build is also really solid. You know, the explosions are very nice. And you know, I'll show you like an expedition here. This is a really shit layout for an expedition, but here we'll just pop it anyway. Like another good thing about this build is it can do every single mod in expedition except for immune to fire, obviously. So like as long as I don't see immune to fire, I can just click it. Whereas Bone Shatter Slayer, like it's going to be a lot harder to do this kind of content. So here I can just, just kind of zone out and, just clear the whole thing. If I get lucky, I'll get like an ignite proliferation that clears everything. If this layout wasn't worse, like, the entire thing would be dead basically, just like instantly. Like I've had expeditions with this character that have lasted 1 second. You just go in, they spawn, you pop, Infernal Cry, and then you get 1 ignite and it proliferates, and then the whole screen just dies. And of course this build, 100% ignite chance for the explosions with ignite proliferation on the glove implicit. So that allows you to have this kind of really nice explodey playstyle. I was initially worried that like the build may have like really low damage, but I think it's like passable. But I would not recommend you league start this in SSF. Like you're gonna run into issues. Like you might just not be able to do Maven bosses if you league start this because your damage will be so low that Maven might just like heal past your damage. So yeah, like I would feel personally uncomfortable to league start this. But like I think this as a second character in SSF is like very solid. Maybe the best like second character ever in SSF. It can do all the content. It can even like push every single challenge if you want it to, except for like the very like endgame ones. Yeah, and like it's very relaxing to play. Like 90 all res, explosions, passive damage, very tanky. Like, in fact, if they don't nerf this build, I think going forward, I'm gonna play this build every league. Like, look at that. I just exploded the whole screen and didn't even press a button. So yeah, this is just a really good build to play in SSF right now. Like, see, I just walked and like everything died. It's like much more relaxing to play this as a mapper than Bone Shatter Slayer. But the problem, as I'll demonstrate, is the single target damage is extremely low. So like, okay, well, alright, well that didn't count. That didn't count because I triggered an explosion from my Ascendancy and the boss died instantly. That is not a representation of the damage of this build, but you know what, I'll take it. If I were to do that boss fight, like honestly, like ethically, it would probably take me like a minute to do because the damage is like just lower on this build. But yeah, like the build is okay as like a second build. So that's basically how my league start is going. Started Bone Shatter Slayer, got me to a pretty good point in the league, allowed me to get enough currency to craft for Righteous Fire Chieftain, and that is what I am playing now. And then I think my third build, I'm gonna like do a lot of farming on this character, and then I want to build a third build that's gonna be like really strong and be able to like hopefully do Ubers and T17s. Although I don't really know exactly what character I want to play right now, but I want to build like a high damage, like high survivability type of character next. But yeah, this character as of now is not exactly complete. The character right now is pretty meta. It is missing a lot. Like, I don't have Essence of Horror on my helmet. I don't even have Conch on my helmet. So my Fire Trap is like a 5 link instead of a 6 link. And it's only level 20, so I could easily take that to 21. I'm trying, but not getting very lucky, so it is what it is. I'm also eventually going to turn this character into a traitor build. As you guys know, the tech here is basically, Ruby Flask. This now gives you 5 max res, which on Chieftain allows you to get 5 all res. And then if you can get 40% Flask effect, you can make this give you +7 max fire res, right? And then using the traitor keystone, you can make it so that the Ruby Flask has 100% uptime. So that is some tech that I want to experiment with, but I've been getting pretty unlucky. Like I've been trying to like get a traitor brutal restraint, but I actually used 8 divines and I still didn't get it. In addition to dropping 2 of these, I calculated it, and the chance that it happens, the chance that I get that unlucky is 0.66 to the power of 10, which is 1.5%. So I am getting like so fucked up the ass right now. Pardon my language. I had a beautiful stash of 8 divines, and I used all of them to get traitor, and I lost every single divine and I got nothing. So pretty upset with that, but it is what it is. You know, sometimes you lose, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. So that is what it is. But ideally, eventually, I'm gonna get the traitor on this, and then I'm gonna combo that with a micro distillery belt, which I also got very lucky with. This is supposed to be like 1 in 400 wings or something. I got it like in my first like 10 wings. So super lucky. And the basic idea is you combo this with like, you know, this. I have an implicit here 11% flask effect. And then this is 30% flask effect for a total of 40. And then that allows my ruby flask to get +7 fire res. And then traitor allows it to have 100% uptime. And that should, in theory, allow me to have like 90 all res for very cheap. And then that will allow me to drop the Rise of the Phoenix shield, replace it with another scepter, which will give me like, you know, 1,000,000 more damage, which is going to be like 25% to 50% more damage on this character. So that's the plan. I'll make another video on this character, like if I can get to that point soon. But yeah, this is just the character as of now, just pretty meta. Righteous Fire, you know, very good character, very, very easy to craft all the gear, extremely powerful in maps. I just wouldn't league start it because the damage is low and you might fail Maven invitations due to not having enough damage. But yeah, like take this one. Which one is it again? This one? There's like some challenge with regards to like doing bosses or doing invitations at like high quantity. This one. So like all of these, I've basically done these using Bone Shatter. So like, you know, Bone Shatter Slayer, you know, pretty good. I did get a little bit carried by Tainted Pact, but I would say like even without Tainted Pact, I would maybe be able to do these if you have the right mods. So like a character like Bone Shatter Slayer is good because like, you know, as a league starter, the damage is really high, and even though the survivability might be a bit low early on, like you can always play safe and like farm essences. You can always like, you know, just have mechanical skill or like 6 portal it. But, you know, the key is to like have speed and damage as a league starter, which allows you to, you know, do a lot of this and then, you know, build a second character that may have problems like this league starting, but, you know, with enough itemization, it's like playable. Whereas if I had started on RF Chieftain, I kind of worry that I may, you know, not be able to do these because I don't know if I could out DPS the Maven heal. So yeah, that's basically how my league is going so far. Yeah. Long story short, started Bone Shatter Slayer. It was okay, but kind of stressful to map with after all the buffs. Rerolled to RF Chieftain, which has an infinitely better mapping experience. And then I refactored the Bone Shatter Slayer into a single target build or like an invitation build, you know, because it does really excel at that, especially with Tainted Pact. And then for my third build, I'm looking for like a high damage, like high survivability build that can ideally do T17s because none of my builds can do T17s. Bone Shatter is too squishy and this build has no damage. So yeah, hopefully the third build can do that kind of content. Okay, as for the league itself, so as you guys know, well, first of all, I'm not quitting SSF. You know, it was an April Fool's video in case you didn't get it. I would never quit SSF. So yeah, no matter how bad it gets in SSF, I'll always play SSF. So you guys don't have to worry about that. But it was kind of funny to see how many people I got. But yeah, okay. So as you guys know, like the start of this league was pretty bad. Everything was very overtuned, and you know, the league mechanic was very underpowered, and a lot of people were, you know, kind of frustrated, myself included. And it definitely felt pretty bad. But then they did patch it. They did like release a really big patch recently that made the league mechanic a lot more accessible. I still think it takes a really long time to farm the corpses in SSF. So like I don't like, I wouldn't say it's like an A tier like crafting mechanic. I would say it's like a C tier at best. Like maybe before it was like F tier. I would say like from an SSF point of view, the Necropolis crafting mechanic right now is maybe like a C tier mechanic. I think essences are still better because you get more faster. I think ROG is still better. Like ROG would be S tier, essences maybe A tier, fossils maybe B tier, chaos spam maybe C tier, and then Necropolis maybe like C minus. It just takes so long to farm all the relevant things that you need to make a craft in SSF, and you have to spreadsheet it, which could be annoying to some players. And then it's also not totally deterministic. So it does take you like a really long time. Like I've been farming like all day today and yesterday, and I still don't have enough to even do one craft. So like the fact that you have to farm 2 days to attempt one craft in SSF is like really bad. I think that's like an oversight on their part. It feels so bad. Whereas like, you know, in 2 days, I was able to craft like a whole set of gear for this character. I was able to like, you know, farm 1500 fusings to like 6-link my body on my Bone Shatter character. I crafted like 3 items for Bone Shatter that were pretty good. I crafted all this gear. You know, I got 2 characters to level 95 and 94. And I still don't even have enough to do one craft. So I would say it's like a C minus now, you know, C minus crafting mechanic. But like, you know, if you do have all the pieces to do like some craft, I guess it could be kind of fun, you know, just like roll the dice and see what you get. But yeah, I think it still needs a bit of work, especially from an SSF perspective. You know, like maybe make the corpses like, maybe just like increase the drop rate of them or something. Or like every time you drop one corpse, you maybe like just double the power of all of them. I don't know. Or like double the drop rate or something. But yeah, so yeah, I would say like, you know, the league crafting mechanic, maybe after the patch, it went from like an F tier to like a C minus tier kind of thing. But yeah, I would say the league itself is pretty good though. I would definitely say that the actual like league itself, like the base game, is maybe okay. I still am salty at the removal of the crafting mechanics for SSF. Like the removal of the Veiled Chaos Orb is like really rough for self-found still. And I don't like that the new Veiled Orb is like a 1 in 10 drop rate. Like I farmed like 6 Katarinas and I got none. And I heard other people farming like 10 of them and got none. So that was just like so depressing that I just gave up farming Betrayal entirely. So I guess now I just have no Veiled Chaos Orbs and no Veil Orbs. So that feels pretty bad. But I would say like the Atlas changes are definitely good. Like being able to like force mechanics at like 100% occurrence rate is very strong. Like I've done a bunch of 100% expedition farming. And then, you know, I also have like Essence on the tree as well. I still think Essence is maybe a bit nerfed compared to before. Like the fact that Shriekings no longer duplicate is kind of, you know, just like a straight up nerf in my opinion, considering, you know, Amplified Energies only makes the things spawn at Shrieking. So like it's not like you get more Deafenings, you just get less Shriekings overall. So it is definitely like a maybe 50% nerf to Essence farming this league compared to before. So that is still kind of bad, but you know, it is still cool being able to have 100%, you know, rate of expedition, and also having multiple trees is good. This is just my league start tree, which is just like mainly expedition essence with a couple of random shit like altars, endgame map drops, Kirak, you know, a little bit of harvest, and you know, yeah. Also, a lot of this stuff is like, you know, kind of just trying to go for challenges because I'm a challenge Andy. Don't tell anyone, but yeah. And then I have another tree here, which is like, you know, Breach and Legion. I've been trying to farm like, you know, the traitor. So I have like this tree that's like mainly just for Legion. Although eventually I think, yeah, I mean, yeah, you know, just whenever I get Legion Scarabs, I basically just like run Legion on this tree. And then I guess I don't need Breach anymore, but like making this tree was like really like nice for like progressing my Breach. Like it allows you to just like have, it allows you to get Chayula really fast. I have you on this hall by accident. And it also allows you to like get your Breach Lord invitation done very fast to like spec into Breach like this without having to disrupt your main tree. So that's been pretty good. Definitely really like this. And, you know, a lot of the nodes in the tree also, I think, have been buffed. well, except for Essence, in my opinion. But yeah, so, well, not all of them have, some of them have been buffed, mainly the spawn rate, but yeah. But I think the most like underrated thing this league is definitely packed with energy. I know like every single YouTuber, in the Path of Exile category, talks about this, but I think packed with energy is like maybe a little bit too strong. Like the way that I see it right now, like being able to get, what is it, 105% ink damage, 45% ink MS, and 3 max res, in addition to Sulfite, Azurite, in every map is like completely insane. In fact, it's so insane that I've actually built this character around it. I would say that Packed with Energy is maybe so strong that I would recommend this on any tree, on every tree. So like for all 3 of my trees, I have this Packed with Energy. I have 100% Nico spawn rate, and I have mining byproducts. And this is actually like maybe like super sleeper OP. Like I didn't even realize how much Azurite I was getting until I checked. Like I played for just one day, just like ouching and going, and I got 30,000 Azurite, and I didn't even do delve a single time. And I was able to buy like 100 resonators, 100 one socket resonators. I think those things are like 300 a piece. So yeah, if I have 30,000, that's like 100 free resonators every day, which allows you to just like fossil craft, because you get a lot of fossils just like doing random shit. So yeah, Packed with Energy plus mining byproducts in SSF I think is really strong. And as I mentioned, I'm actually building this character around it because this is a mapping character, right? Like the main objective of this build is to map. So this is Righteous Fire Chieftain, and normally what you would want to do is get 90 all res, obviously. But in this case, I'm only getting 87, and I'm actually building around that number because I can get +3 from Packed with Energy. So like I naturally will go from 87 to 90 all res in maps, and 99% of the time playing this build, I am in maps. So it works out very well. And 87 versus 90 all res at the start of the map is like not a big deal for softcore. So yeah, this character is literally built around Packed with Energy. And then like, another thing is like in a build, like in general, it is a lot harder to go from like 70, like it's a lot easier to go from 75 to 76 max res compared to like 89 to 90, right? Because the more max res you get, like the more you run out of ways to get it. So like being able to just like stop at 87 is actually like a huge buff, and it allows me to just build my tree a lot more efficiently. Like I don't even have Purity of Fire. I have like 2 auras, and I haven't taken any reservation on my tree, but it's fine because I don't even need Purity of Purity of Fire because I'm doing 87%. And then yeah, I just like click all these things and I get +3 max res and like 105 ink damage and 45 MS in every map. Like that's definitely like super power creep. So yeah, man, Packed with Energy, it's like so good. It's so good. And that's another reason I think Righteous Fire is like pretty strong. It's because you can like abuse Packed with Energy in softcore and just get like a very high powered mapping character. So yeah, that's basically just my findings. Packed with Energy, very good. Expedition, as usual, very good. Combo it with a character like Righteous Fire Chieftain, very strong. Essence, a little bit nerfed, but still good. And then the rest of it is just whatever, a little bit of Harvest, a little bit of, map sustain, a little bit of Kirak. Yeah. That's basically where my league is so far. Again, like I really wanted to make more videos and like stream more, but it's just, with a tooth infection and like after getting oral surgery, like you don't really feel too good. Like it is taking like all that I have to make this video right now. Like my mouth hurts like as I'm talking to you guys, and I'm like so exhausted from the healing process, but I just had to make this video. I had to like keep y'all updated on the league, and what I've found out about it so far. If I find out anything more like secret, crafting strats or like super secret efficient SSF farming strats, like I'll let you guys know, but this is just something that has like worked really well for me personally, and I haven't really discovered anything like super secret or like game breaking yet. But yeah, I just wanted to make this video to keep y'all updated. You know, I have not quit SSF, and as the healing process goes on, hopefully I can make more videos for you guys and get back to streaming. So yeah, that's about it. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions, concerns, or anything. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video or on stream. Yeah. I will link the POBs for my Bone Shatter and Righteous Fire character in the description. So you guys can see like where those characters are at. The Bone Shatter character is pretty much done. The Righteous Fire character has like, you know, I still have to swap to traitor. So it's not done yet, but I can like link what I have so far. You know, it's a very straightforward meta build, so yeah. All right. Thank you guys for watching.